Howdy, 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 my beautiful Capricorn. Happy June. We're at the halfway point of this year. Can you believe it, darling? So let's get into your weekly tarot reading, Capricorn, and see what's happening in your life right now, what's manifesting, what direction you need to be going in, honey. Let's just take a look here. All right. I hope you've been doing well, my friend. So you have the Eight of Swords. So, Capricorn, my first reading to you after a hot biscuit is the Eight of Swords. Am I going to be chastising you right now, Capricorn? Is that what's going on here? Right? You're in your head. You are in this place, whether it's the person that put you in your place, got you in your head here, or maybe it's something that you are doing, maybe your career or something. Wherever the case here is, it's like this sense of like being paralyzed by overthinking. Maybe there's like something that has like really set something off in your brain. Maybe someone's like body language has shifted. Lean into that if that's the case here. Don't gaslight yourself if you've noticed someone's body language or verbiage has changed towards you, or their behavior has changed towards you, Capricorn. You're not crazy, all right? You're not crazy about it. And, I want you to really stop gaslighting yourself. The Capricorn is associated with the Devil card, all right? And so you are so used to, due to society, and maybe just due to like your upbringing, where you're just used to being the problem, all right? You are not the problem if that is the case here. Now, where you are the problem, Capricorn, is where you are way too much in your head that you choose to not do things because you have like the self-limiting thoughts. I'm not talented enough. I'm not interesting enough. That's, I'm gonna make it easier on you, Capricorn, and I'll just call myself out so it doesn't feel like I'm chastising you as much, right? My biggest insecurity, and it's always stuck with me, is that I don't feel like I'm interesting to listen to. All right. It might sound ridiculous to some of you, but it's just like that. It really is. I always have like this a sense of insecurity because I feel like I don't really best express my personality. Right. So why would anyone want to listen to me? Right. And it sounds ridiculous. Most people that care about me would say, it's like, no, Velca, you're not boring. And if you do say that, girl, fuck you. No, I'm playing. But ultimately here, Capricorn, I want you to just call yourself out. All right. What are you telling yourself? What narrative are you telling yourself about yourself to keep you in your comfort zone? All right. Because that's sometimes how your ego will manifest, is that they will convince you that you are not good enough. And so it's better for you to stay in your comfort zone. Even if your comfort zone is uncomfortable, you just have learned to get comfortable with that discomfort. Honey, not me dropping bars. No, but do you understand what I'm saying here, Capricorn? Get out of your head here, all right, when it comes to that. Just don't get out of your head when it comes to like you analyzing certain folks, because I do feel like on some level you have noticed a change in somebody, and you're trying to like psych yourself out in that regard and be like, oh no, I'm being too crazy about it here, because you're not. You've already done a lot of personal healing. Sure, in the past, Capricorn, you have been extremely guilty about overthinking things when it comes to certain folks, and where you have abandonment issues, and then you ended up projecting it on certain folks, and that just wasn't the case, right? Sure, you've had those times. Everyone has at some point in time, but you've done the personal work on yourself. I feel, Capricorn, you've done the personal work on yourself. Whatever it is that is in your head that you are so critical to yourself about, you've already overcome it. You've already worked through it. All right. What you are referencing in this insecurity is something that is in the past. Now, let's just say, for example, maybe you're insecure about your acne or your weight. Obviously, that's a very present thing, but I want you to have a conversation with yourself if that is the case, Capricorn, and essentially say, it's just like, am I really going to allow acne scars to stop me from living my life? How ridiculous would it be sound, Capricorn, if I was just like, oh, I don't want to record any more tarot videos for a while because my skin just doesn't look the greatest. Darling, not only am I saying that my acne is more valuable to me than money, I'm saying that my acne is more valuable to me than my own fulfillment in my career, all of that, right? And when you put it in that perspective, it really changes things, right? And you can even shift the narrative when it comes to folks, right? Maybe your idea when it comes to wanting to put yourself out there is like the anxiety, that why this anxiety is manifesting is because of the perceptions of other folks. And the only thing I can really tell you, Capricorn, is that people are going to think what they want to be thinking. People are going to feel whatever they want to feel. It doesn't matter what you do, what you change about yourself, Capricorn. People are going to find a way to still believe the narrative that they already have on you. All right. And when I came out and exposed the cult that I had to escape and That was my exposing my abusers. I posted receipts, honey. I posted video evidence. I posted photos. I even called out their lying and showed screenshots of where they're lying. And there are still people, Capricorn, who just think I did all this just because I wanted attention. I wanted to do drama. You know how that ridiculous that sounds? And so that can tell you for a fact, it doesn't matter what you do. All right, people are going to believe what they want to believe, because the reality is people don't care enough about you to change their beliefs. The only people that are going to be willing to change their beliefs or change how they view you are people that are already invested in you. And the reality, unfortunate reality, is that just, most people are not going to do that. All right, so don't allow those folks who are going to feel whatever they want to feel anyways to stop you from doing what it is that you want. If someone doesn't like tarot readings and spirituality, honey, it doesn't matter how I read these tarot cards, they're still going to think that this is all fake. Do you understand what I'm saying? If I say it's like, oh, I don't like to do love tarot readings because I don't want people to think such and such and such, honey, they're going to think that anyways. So I might as well just do it if I wanted to do it. All right. So hopefully those words reach you, and let me know how it fits in your narrative in your life if that is your story here. All right. But you have the Seven of Pentacles, a little bit of a two-part message here, Capricorn. All right. I feel as if when it comes to the Seven of Pentacles, you have been told certain things in your life. Seeds have been planted since you were a child and growing up. Certain seeds have been planted in your life of where they've told you you're not good enough. You're not enough, right? Again, we can list all the different enoughs, not enoughs possible, but you get the point. And so those have grown to be weeds, and I want you to see your headspace as like a mental garden, and those things that people have, those seeds that people have planted in your head, Capricorn, those are not seeds those are not native seeds. Those are not native plants in your headspace. You need to weed those out to give more space for your own seeds, for your own organic authenticity. Does that make sense? Because I really just see this sense of where the answer to your problems comes to you coming face to face with certain narratives people have projected onto you, Capricorn, that you have been carrying this burden in your life for however long, and it's really been limiting you in regards to just living life in general and doing certain things. All right, so I really want you to do some weeding. All right, look at what narratives, what things about yourself or about your life around you that are really not your own thoughts. It's just what other people have projected onto you. All right, another thing about this here, Capricorn, with this Seven of Pentacles, is that this is a card of nurturing certain projects of yours. I see you at this point now. There's something that you have been working on, and this even could be just the self, Capricorn. Something that you've been working on, and the more that you nurture it, the more it's going to develop. I even hear like this message for some of you Capricorns of like your health. If you were to commit to doing something with your health, the change is not going to happen overnight, right? You don't plant your strawberry seeds and water it, and then you look at them, it's like, all right, well, start sprouting. Why aren't you sprouting? I mean, some of you may do that, but on some logical level, you understand that it doesn't work like that. I think it's the same thing for your life and whatever it is that you're working on. And you might be internalizing it currently, Capricorn, where you're just like, oh, these things are not developing as quickly as I thought it would. And you're using that and then feeding that same narrative of when you were growing up, people saying X, Y, and Z about you. Doesn't make sense, Capricorn. And so don't set yourself up for failure. All right. Ace of Swords coming in here. I like this. All right. Ace of Swords. This is a card of going forward with creative ideas. And I always say, Capricorn, when you have the Ace of Swords on your side, you can never lose, darling. You can never lose with that Ace of Swords on your side, because it's always going to be that win-win outcome. All right. So what have you been sitting with in your head that you should just need to take action on here? It's like the scenario that I'm being shown is like you're seeing this delicious food and you want to ask for food, but you're too shy about asking for food because you don't want people to think that you're greedy, when you should just ask for the food. Doesn't make sense. I'm super specific and weird, but yeah. Hanged Man coming in here. I wouldn't be surprised if recently you guys have been going through either like a little bit of a spiritual awakening, or you guys are finally able to wake up towards certain patterns in your life, maybe starting to wake up to certain generational traumas that you've been living with. I feel like get this message as well, Capricorn, of where you are going to be the one that breaks the generational traumas, or there's another word for it, but I can't think about it. You know, I guess the analogy I'm trying to say is like maybe you always grew up in families where, you know, they never decided to be artistic or have their own business and stuff like that, Capricorn, but you are going to be the one that starts your own business. All right. But the problem that you're going to be facing is that your family, the people that you grew up with, your familiar zone, because they never grew up with the idea of running a business, they have such self-limiting thoughts that they will try to make you to be the crazy one because you're doing something out of their norm. All right. So make sure you don't allow people to make you feel bad about how you see things different. Yeah. You know that quote or the phrase, dancing to the beat of your own drum? That's literally who you are, Capricorn. And the sooner you understand that what it is that you're meant to do with that Ace of Swords is meant to break the status quo. It's meant to break the patterns of life, or you know, there's the other words I'm trying to find, but I can't think of it. You understand what I'm saying, though. I know you do, Capricorn. The moment you understand, like, your actions are meant to be challenging the people around you, the better off you'll be, because I really do see like your biggest thing that's going to slow down your growth, Capricorn, is by you starting to psych yourself out, because crazy people don't know they're crazy, right? I believe we're all crazy, but let me just say the example of where, you know, you could be the most sane person in the room, all right? But if you get constant exposure and you just grew up around people who are very mentally damaged, all right, you're going to eventually think that you are the crazy one, because in that group of folks, you're the abnormal one. Yeah, all right. Does that make sense? And so don't take your abnormalities as a sign that you need to work on something with yourself. All right. You've done enough shadow work, Capricorn. Enough of the shadow work, enough of the therapy. I mean, I feel like we all should always have a therapist on hand and talking to a therapist, but it's like enough of the personal work. There comes a point in time where you just need to be about the action. And I feel like you're starting to take that action because you're starting to wake up and realizing the toxic patterns. It's almost like the rose-colored glasses are finally being removed. And I'm so happy for you, Capricorn. So this is the weekly tarot reading that I have for you, darling. Hopefully something in here resonated, and I'll talk to you sometime in the near future, darling. Bye.